Hello. Just checking in again to say hi, and I wanted to talk to you today about anxiety. Really, just wanted to talk about what anxiety is. We all have our own experience of what our anxiety feels like, but anxiety itself is a biological process which happens within our bodies, within our minds, and what happens in our minds actually affects our bodies, which, those are the experiences that we have of anxiety, where we have heart palpitations or sweaty palms and many other characteristics of anxiety which you may recognize within yourself. Now, anxiety itself, it is a natural process, and it stems from, being human, and it's a really important part of being human, and it's a really necessary part of us and what our needs are. For example, if we're in a situation where there is a real fear, so in the old days, for example, a saber-toothed tiger starts running towards you, there's going to be that instant fear, anxiety that is evoked within you, and that will happen almost a split second before you're consciously aware of it. And what's going on here is there's a part of the brain called the amygdala. It's a tiny little part in the brain, but it's so incredibly important. And that amygdala will kick off a process of events which will then evoke the fear, flight, freeze response that many of us experienced in many different ways. In modern life, however, anxieties are triggered in very many different ways depending on who we are. And those triggers may be from unconscious memories from when we were a child, or things which have happened in the more recent times that we're aware of. They can come from many different places. But these anxieties that we may have or hold or experience, they're very real, and in some cases can be very frightening. So, for example, if there's something in your life that evokes an anxious response, it could be standing up in front of a room full of people at a meeting and giving a presentation. It could be many different things, but that feeling that you experience, that feeling of anxiety as we know it, is a natural process that's kicked off by the amygdala, and then our limbic system within our brain will kick off a whole sequence of processes. And what it's doing is it's making sure that our body is ready to cope with whatever is coming at it. In the case of the saber-toothed tiger, it makes you capable of going, oh, there's a tiger, I need to run and get out of the way, potentially. So the process itself is biological. However, the mental processes that we experience when anxiety starts to take control of us rather than us controlling our anxiety, that's when anxiety becomes difficult. That's when it can become a problem. And that's when many people think, I can't cope with this anymore. This isn't okay anymore. This isn't how I want to be anymore. And if that sounds like you, if you're coping with anxiety, but it has now taken over control of you and you're not able to control it, you may be feeling really overwhelmed. You may have a really short temper. There are many different manifestations of being controlled by your anxiety and unable to cope. Talking about your anxiety and trying to uncover what the triggers for the anxiety are, if you're unaware of them, can be an incredibly powerful way to process what's going on and to understand what your anxiety is and who your anxiety is to you. So if you're interested in learning more about your own anxiety and your own processes, then get in touch and we can talk about what it is that causes your anxieties, and I'd like to help you and support you. I hope that's been of interest, and thank you for listening. Take lots of care. Thanks. Bye.